most respected Professor Shekhar C. Mande, Distinguished Professor, University of Pune, and former Secretary DSIR and DG CSIR, Professor Vijay Mohanan K. Pillai, former Professor and Dean CSIR Tirupati, and former Director CSIR Secretary, our esteemed Director Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan, Dr. TPD Rajan, Chief Scientist and Head Human Resource and Academic Division, Heads of Divisions, colleagues, research scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen, Namaste and good morning. A very warm welcome to all of you on this auspicious occasion of the 84th Foundation Day of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, a day that celebrates the spirit of innovation, discovery and nation building through science and technology. Founded in 1942, CSIR is one of India's greatest engines of innovation, a name that's behind our indelible ink. India's first drugs, the tractor that transformed our farms, the labs that decoded our DNA, technologies that fuel green and white revolutions, and even the technology that helped us fight COVID-19. As we celebrate the 84th Foundation Day of CSIR, CSIR-NIIST is honored to have very distinguished guests among us. Professor Shekhar C. Mande, former Secretary DSIR and DG CSIR as our esteemed chief guest, and Professor Vijay Mohanan K. Pillai, former Professor and Dean CSIR Tirupati and former Director CSIR Secretary as our esteemed guest of honor. I request our Director Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan to kindly accompany our distinguished guest to the dais. I also request Dr. TPD Rajan, Chairman of today's program, and our Controller of Administration, Sri Srinivas Rao Yella, to kindly occupy the dais.
Thank you, esteemed dignitaries. Now I invite Dr. TPD Rajan, Chief Scientist and Head, Human Resources and Academic Division, for the welcome address.
Good morning to all. It gives me great pleasure and honor to extend a warm welcome to each one of you to the 84th CSIR Foundation Day celebration held at CSIR-NIIST Trivandrum. Today we gathered to commemorate the illustrious journey of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, an organization that has been in the forefront of scientific innovation and technology development in India for over 8 decades. The impact of CSIR contribution in shaping the nation's progress through science and technology is both profound and inspiring. We are privileged to have with us today Dr. Shekhar C. Mande, former Secretary DSIR and former Director General CSIR, as the chief guest for the 84th CSIR Foundation Day celebration. He has made invaluable contributions to the advancing India's scientific research and innovation ecosystem, steering CSIR towards greater excellence and social impact. On behalf of CSIR-NIIST, it gives us immense pleasure to welcome you, sir, to deliver the Foundation Day address titled Societal Development Through S&T, Role of CSIR. His insights and vision will undoubtedly inspire us all to continue striving towards the harnessing science and betterment of the society. Welcome you, sir. Thank you. So we are very much honored to have Professor Vijay Mohan K. Pillai, former Dean of CSIR Tirupati and former Director of CSIR Secretary Karikudi as our guest of honor. His remarkable contribution to scientific research, especially in the field of electrochemistry and material science, at CSIR-NCL and later in CSIR Secretary as Director, serve as a beacon for aspiring scientists and innovators. We are extremely glad to welcome you, sir. Our warm welcome to Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan, Director CSIR-NIIST, who will deliver the presidential address. Under his able leadership, CSIR-NIIST continues to excel in the research and development with a strong focus on sustainable technologies. Welcome you, sir. Warm welcome to Mr. Srinivas Rao Yella, COA, for the proceedings of the vote of thanks for organizing all the events. Warm welcome to our invitees for the today's program, especially Dr. Ragesh Mishra, former Director CCMB, Dr. Sugesh Kumar Yadav, Director CSIR IHBT, Professor Komal Chauhan, Niftam Sonipat, and Professor Usha Anthony, Professor So we have great pleasure in inviting Dr. Rakesh K. Mishra, former Director CCMB, and Dr. Suresh Kumar Yadav, Director CSIR-NIIST for this program today, sir. Welcome you, sir. And warm welcome to all our former colleagues who are present here today for the event. Welcome you all. We extend a warm welcome to our esteemed invitees for the technology transfer and MOU signing ceremony. Mr. Jude Anthony from Sidon Infrastructure Private Limited, Dr. Uwais from Elysia Life Science Private Limited, and all the members from Swadeshi Science Movement for the signing of the MOU. Your collaboration symbolizes in growing synergy between research and industry, a critical driver of innovation. Welcome you all. We also take this opportunity to acknowledge and welcome our retired members who have contributed selflessly to the growth of CSIR-NIIST over the years, and our colleagues who are celebrated 25 years of dedicated service this year. And your commitment and hard work are the foundation upon which the institution thrives. And we also welcome the wards of the staff who is receiving the merit awards today. I warmly welcome all our scientists, staff, students, and all our esteemed guests. Your presence here today enriches the occasion and reflects the collective spirit of CSIR-NIIST. Together, let us celebrate the legacy of achievements, future aspirations of CSIR as we continue to harness the power of science and technology on societal development. Thank you once again for being with us today. Let us look forward to an inspiring and memorable celebration. Welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. To begin our program on an auspicious note, we shall now invite our esteemed dignitaries on the dais for lighting the ceremonial lamp, a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and progress.
Thank you all. It's my honor to introduce a leader whose vision does not merely guide an institution, but reimagines its very identity. Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan, esteemed director of CSIR-NIIST, is a celebrated scientist in the areas of food science and agroprocessing and a torchbearer of interdisciplinary innovation. A Commonwealth scholar with a PhD from Loughborough University, he is not only a researcher of great depth and dedication, he is an institution builder with combined expertise in chemical engineering, food science, and emerging technologies. CSIR-NIIST, once renowned as a strong scientific institute, now under the leadership of Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan, pulses with renewed energy as a hub of innovation, industry partnership, digital intelligence, and mission-driven research. From advanced materials and sustainable technologies to food and agro-industrial solutions, he has expanded the institute horizons with both precision and imagination. He has championed technology transfers, nurtured startup ecosystems, and aligned science with national missions, proving that research is not just confined to laboratories, it lives in livelihoods, industries, and aspirations. A fellow of 8 premier national and international academies, he was awarded the first Rashtriya Vigyan Shri Puraskar in Agricultural Sciences, the Tata Transformation Prize, and the Distinguished Alumnus Award from the Anna University, to name a few. May now have the honor of inviting our respected director to kindly deliver the presidential address.
Most respected, our former Director General of CSIR, former Secretary DSIR, Dr. CSIR-NIIST sir, respected Vijay Mohan K. Pillai sir, Dr. TPD Rajan, Sri Srinivas Rao Ella, all my former colleagues, present colleagues, industry partners, my dear colleagues, students, good morning to everyone, and 84th Foundation Day, CSIR Foundation Day greetings to everyone. It's an honor to have our own former DG for the CSIR Foundation Day. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation, being with us. Some time back, we wanted to invite sir for some program, and we are thinking which program will suit for the inviting Segar sir. But this is the fitting event to invite. That's what we decided among all our senior colleagues. Thank you so much, sir. Taking immediately, sir, only few hours, immediately he accepted I will come. And I don't know how to say that thanks to our former DG, Segar sir. Thank you so much, sir, on behalf of our CSIR-NIIST camp. Vijay Mohan Pillai sir, when I took over as the director of that time IICPT, just first week, only 1 week over, I got a call from director's office of Sikri Karaikudi. Sikri Karaikudi director wanted to meet you. I was surprised and I don't know what for. Suddenly, sir has come along with the 7 colleagues, and he called all my colleagues in my institute and he greeted me. Then I was shocked. Sir, why, sir? Sir said, no. Person from CSIR coming out and heading another institution like this, I need to celebrate. That's what I have come physically, and I wanted to congratulate. Thank you so much, sir. From that day to here, whenever I need any help, sir is there to support me, especially my journey at CSIR-NIIST as well. And also all my colleagues, this year is a special for us. We are celebrating the Golden Jubilee year. And this Foundation Day of CSIR also falls on the Golden Jubilee year celebration. And we conducted 11 conclave, Golden Jubilee conclave. And along with that, our Foundation Day, that Onam celebration, all are in the different level we have done. And our Foundation Day also not going to anywhere lower than that. Just I'll give the small presentation about CSIR Foundation Day. We know that CSIR has done so much for the society as the country at large. All the director generals are supported, including Amande sir. When sir asked what I will going to speak, sir has given 2-3 titles. I picked one title because I listened that off of that during the ISER program. So can you speak on that our contribution during the COVID time? Most of the institutions were closed except CSIR. CSIR started working during the COVID time, round the clock. The contribution, people has to know that we need to make it more impact to the people, and you have to say that yes, because of we are 84 years old, normally age grows, we'll try to be calm. The younger generation makes noise. That's maybe the another problem of CSIR, maybe inherent problem. We are not talking about what we have done. So please talk about that time, what is that CSIR contribution to that. I think sir is going to speak out that. Thank you, sir, accepting that my request on behalf of CSIR-NIIST. Again, Vijay Mohan Pillai, sir has completed 65 years of his scientific journey. 65-year-old, he retired from that. We wanted to today felicitate. I didn't taken his permission, but we are going to do that. Please accept on behalf of CSIR-NIIST. Sir, maybe there in the NCL and SICRI, but if you look at most of our colleagues, and he's part of our RC, wherever is there, he will keep eye on NIST, will get something. That's the what any committee, if you see that project goes from CSIR-NIIST, always somehow he will support to push it. Today also morning he is asking the what happened to this yesterday night FTT project, this what happened, all the things he track on that. Always we are thankful to you, sir. thank you so much for accepting our felicitation request. Look at the visionary leaders. CSIR is born before our independence, 1942. From the Patnakar to present Director General Dr. Kalai Selvi ma'am. All the Director Generals have put their lifetime, every minute, second, for the development of the country as well as CSIR. That's what today what we are. We can talk too much. Each and every institution has the legacy itself. More than that, what we have built this nation. Without CSIR, I don't think so. If you take it Amul, they stopped. They are telling it's not possible. Within a no time, we made that buffalo milk in the powder. When the same scenario was happening in 77, suddenly some of the companies left our country. CSIR decided we need to develop the similar type of cola. That's what 77 cola has developed at CFTRI. I know CFTRI where I come from. I can give the similar type of example. All 37 lab has contributed. Whenever, wherever our country in issue, we will come front and we delivered. And when we are remembering at 84th Foundation Day, these are the people has built. We need to salute to each and everyone's contribution. Some of the former DGs are not with us, but still what they contributed to the society as well as CSIR, you have to remember on this day. CSIR, somewhat people will say they have done extremely well. Some people still they say no, they would have done better. But instead of evaluating ourselves, I wanted to give a small presentation what CSIR has evaluated by the two agencies. One is the Nature Index Research Leaders result data on the 2025. We are number 4 in India, research leaders, and we are research output by the share in India is number 3. Number 1 is the IIC Bangalore, number 2 is the IIT Mumbai, third is CSIR. And we research output per government institution globally, as per the Nature Index, we are standing 24th internationally. We are number 1 in research output share in the chemistry, number 3 in biology. Simago has done another study. This is a second study also published based on the 2024 and 25 it is published. Overall, the world, CSIR stands 4th, Asiatic region 4th, BRICS 3rd, India is a 1st. If you break into the research, India is CSIR in the world 3rd, research Asiatic region 2nd, BRICS 1st, in India CSIR is the 1st. Innovation, this is the where we need to look into that. We are 29th in the world and India is a 9th, societal 4th, 1st in India as per the Simago. Simago, another one is the government organizations among the in India. Chemistry we are number 1, engineering 1, medicine 1, molecular biology, environmental science, mathematics, pharma, all this area we are number 1 in performance. Again number 2 in agriculture, earth sciences, energy. Number 3 in veterinary science. This we have not done our study. This has been done by 2 independent organizations and they showcased. If you look at the total outcome, we are top 5 either in India, and that if you look at this data, we are contributing in the total scientific manpower of 3 to 4% of Indian scientific manpower, but our contribution is 10% of the total outcome of India's outcome in number of terms of the paper publications or innovation, technology trends, so on. That's what is a very, very strong group working. And 225 scientists are listed in top 2% scientist list, elsewhere as released. If we compare to this 2024, IIC 19, 119 and IIT Delhi 112. Still we are in the good hold on the basics and applied research what we are. When we are telling about CSIR contribution, we need to talk about what NIIST is contributing in the present state. I am giving the data from the last September to now as we are celebrating our CSIR Foundation Day. Our budget last year reached 120 crore. In 2022-23, it was 79 crore institute, the whole including our salary, pension and all research component increased to 120 Last September 1st, it has reached almost 100 crore now. So we are hoping that remaining till March, we may reach us crossing 125 crore. That's what we plan to do that this year. Look at another one indicators of research component. 2022-23 was 21 crore research fund has been allotted in our institute. Total money inflow, including all the sources, last year reached 61 crore. Now we reached already 37 crore. And LRF from 2.4 crore to increase to 6.5 crore last year. This year is we are waiting for 14th October. Many technology transfers, we wanted to do it when we are concluding our final day of Golden Jubilee celebrations, hoping to reach more than 7 crore this year. ECF, it was 10 crore on 2022-23. It reached 19 crore and last year 15 crore. Again this year we are planning to reach around 20 crore because already we've gone close to the 12 crore this year. And industry linkage, last September to now 28 technology transfers happened this institute, 65 MOUs and 60 industry meet happened last 1 year. And technology development or technology transfers devotees, 22-23 it was 25 lakhs, it went on to 2.2 crore last year. This year I said we are waiting for the 14th to increase to almost close to 3.5 crore. We are expecting this coming 14th. And PhD award 45 and single year close to 90 students joined in a single year as a PhD admission in our institute. Number of papers last year 284 papers with average impact factor of 5.19, and this year already we published 127 with average impact factor of 5+. And again, one of the very few institutions in this 77 scientists, out of which 10 scientists are listed in top 2% in the as per the elsewhere listed. It's a big achievement per capita. Whatever the data I said, you divided a number of the scientists, we are the highest among the very highly performing institution in the country. That's what I wanted to say. The number of papers, technology transfer, money generation divided by the number of the scientists. That's what it is. And TPD Rajan has got National Metallurgist Award. Bojay Gaud has another award, the Polymer Foundation Award. Rocky got MRSA Award. Jubi got Timi Chemistry Journal Award, and Achu got 2 award, BRICS Award, as well as Kapoor Foundation Energy Award. And these are the not limited here, and these are the major award I put. Apart from that, all our scientists got many awards. Before moving to the another area, last 26 we celebrated our foundation day at New Delhi. Our Honorable Minister released the technology compendium, what CSIR is committed for the nation 2030. It has the technology commitment from each institution of CSIR is compiled and it has been released. And CSIR-NIIST also part of that. We also committed some of the technologies. One is the biomedical waste, and we started in the very lower level like a TRL 1 to 2 when we transfer the technology. Now we moved on to the equipment level. I don't want to discuss this one, so many times we discussed, but what I try to say that if you see that market potential 12 billion, it's going to be a 18 billion size of the market in world level market, and this is the only technology globe alternative to incinerator. So this is the what the market we wanted to capitalize. So very soon that technology will be going to happen. CBCB asked us to do the validation. This is the live demo what is happening at AIIMS New Delhi. Dr. Srijit Sankar is operating, and the result has come. All are negative. Whatever is comes is really this system is works well, and the soil what is produced, it has been made the capsicum from that one. That shape of the machine we made it the capsicum. The same capsicum is produced from the soil what has come, and that the soil also be given to the IRI New Delhi for the testing report. Then we are going to submit to the CBCB to get a clearance, and coming November 17th, World Biomedical Congress is going to happen. We are going to introduce this technology for the whole world. That's what we are moving on to the next stage. But the technology commitment was 2030. Our timeline for this technology 2027, we wanted to implement not only in India, throughout the globe. That's what we committed. Vaccine oil monitoring. If you look at single day, 7.2 million VVMs are purchased in India. India is the largest importer of VVM and largest exporter of vaccines. So we developed the VVMs, and if you see the impact analysis, the market 341 million size of the market now, it's going to be a 951 million size of the market. We developed most of the VVMs. You can see that VVM 2 within a 2 days that color has to change. That's what we developed the VVM 2. Again VVM 11, it's also changes with the 11 days time, and internal and outside color what is changing, and VVM 14. All these VVMs has developed now ready. Now second phase is started, that is nothing but the printing. And what is the existing VVM on this? You can see that the discarded point where it is there here, and other VVMs, it's the color changes, and again it changes another one. You can see that our VVMs, the distinct color difference you can see for the middle. That is the beauty of this. 5% of the vaccines, because of they're not able to identify the discarded point, the kinetics, we modified exactly the cutoff point, and the color difference you can easily visibly can see that. And each VVM we made the different color. The existing VVM single color for all the VVM. So that is the what we made it, and we committed this will be completed 2028 or 29. We wanted to bring into the market, and we wanted to go for CSIR is going to do that manufacturing. That's what we are talking with other industry partners. We don't wanted to license it, we wanted to manufacture, we wanted to get the profit for the institute. That model we wanted to operate. I don't know, it's not operating video. Actually what happened in the plastic alternative, when World Food India just 25th September, Honorable Prime Minister has spoken about sustainability, sustainable polymers. It's very clearly stated it, we need to go for sustainable packaging, sustainable polymers for the future. That is the purpose. This has been reduced from 18% to 5% of the GST. So that importance has not only given from the Honorable Prime Minister, it is the commitment. In CSIR-NIIST is a leading the sustainable packaging mission with all 13 labs of CSIR. We wanted to make it alternative to single-use plastics, alternative to PET, and alternative for whatever we are using the all the biopolymers. That's what we tried to do that. In that scenario, we developed in CSIR-NIIST PET bottle that can be degraded as quick as possible. That's what we tried, and very soon that will be released.
साथियों, आज समय की मांग बायोडिग्रेडेबल पैकेजिंग की भी है। हमारे प्रोडक्ट फ्रेश रहें, बेहतर रहें, ये जरूरी है, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ नेचर के प्रति भी हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। इसलिए सरकार ने बायोडिग्रेडेबल पैकेजिंग पर जीएसटी को भी 18% से घटाकर 5% कर दिया है। मैं इंडस्ट्री के सभी साथियों से भी आग्रह से कहना चाहूंगा कि बायोडिग्रेडेबल पैकेजिंग से जुड़े इनोवेशंस में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए और जल्दी से जल्दी हमारे सारे प्रोडक्ट को पैकेजिंग के लिए बायोडिग्रेडेबल की तरफ शिफ्ट कर देना चाहिए।
If you look at now market is not that great. If you look at 2031 market is $17,000 million US market. That's what CSIR-NIIST coordinating with all other CSIR lab, this mission program, we develop PBAT based bottles. This can be used in the hospitals, and coir based bottles for the alternative to glass and the PET bottle. And also we are setting up India's biodegradable testing center at CSIR-NIIST this year itself. So this is the what we are thinking to contribute, and we given this commitment till 2027. Most of the commitment we are going to complete it. Indoor air quality monitoring is important. If you see that comparatively, most of the time we are living in the indoor halls or the house, but that pollution, airborne particles of formaldehyde, ozone, carbon dioxide, we are not able to monitor it. The death also, if you look at 4.3 million deaths due to the indoor pollution. India is the leading on that. 1,16,000 population is dying because of air quality is poor. Can we do the monitoring? If you do the sensors, you need IoT and you need a battery. Without battery, we developed, this is the what it is installed at Trivandrum Airport, indoor air quality monitoring. Now we wanted to expand into all other airports and we wanted to go for flexible solar cell. Very soon we are going to start up, and this facility has been created at CSIR-NIIST. So we wanted to put it, this commitment also 2030, including the sensor integrated without battery. That commitment is, we are going to complete 2028. Global diabetic statistics, I'm not going for the details, but India, if you look at, out of 10 people, 1% is a diabetic right now. 11.4% populations are there. Pre-diabetic, this is 16%. Continuously is growing. If you look at 45% increase in the world diabetes, Africa increasing 142%, continuously increasing. That one more data, if you see that more than the medicines, the diabetic food market, 11 billion size, either oats, all GI foods, everything 11 billion size of the market going to be 15 billion. Can we have a rice with the low GI? That's what under Tata Transformation Prize we thought. We developed this rice, but testing is going on. We are also committing this technology will be completed 2026. Next year itself, we wanted to introduce into the market. CSIR dream is to make India as the world innovation capital. The caption says CSIR is innovation engine of the country. Yes, we need to put a lot of effort to make CSIR to make more innovations to not for the country, the whole world. Hope this foundation day will take that pledge to make that dream to come very soon. Thank you so much, and thank you so much all the guests for attending this evening.
Thank you, sir. We are truly honored to have with us Professor Vijayamohanan K. Pillai, the most distinguished and celebrated electrochemist from India. Dr. Pillai has served as the director of the Central Electrochemical Research Institute, Karaikudi, from 2012 to 2018, and later as the Dean of Research and Development at IISER Tirupati. We are also privileged to mention that he has been a member of our very own Research Council. He has been recognized with several prestigious honors, including the MRSI Medal, the CRSI Bronze Medal, and he is a Fellow of the Indian Academy of Sciences. Professor Pillai, a visionary scholar, a mentor of uncommon grace, and a luminary, a name synchronous with scientific rigor, institutional leadership, and academic excellence, has just celebrated his 65th birthday and superannuated from service as Dean of Research and Development at IISER Tirupati. For several decades of scholarship, he has advanced the frontiers of electrochemistry, surface science, battery research, and material science with remarkable vision. His pioneering work on supercapacitors, fuel cells, and green energy technologies has not only enriched fundamental knowledge, but also paved ways for sustainable innovations. Equally profound is his legacy as an academic mentor, nurturing students, PhDs, postdoc researchers, and young faculty with intellectual generosity and vision. His influence lives on through the scientists he shaped and the institutions he has elevated. In particular, as director of CSIR SECRI, Professor Pillai led with vision, expanding the research frontiers, modernizing the infrastructure, and positioning the institute as a national hub for electrochemical science and technology. On this momentous occasion, CSIR-NIIST joins all the well-wishers of Professor Pillai in celebrating not just a milestone of age, but a legacy of discovery, a tradition of mentorship, and a life dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. While we extend our warmest wishes to the stalwart of Indian electrochemical paradigm, it's our pleasure to honor Professor Vijayamohanan K. Pillai on this 84th CSIR Foundation Day. May now request our esteemed director and our chief guest to kindly present Professor Vijayamohanan K. Pillai with a token of our gratitude and appreciation.
Thank you, sir. It is my honor to invite Professor Vijay Mohanan K. Pillai, our esteemed guest of honor, to kindly address the gathering.
Dr. Shekhar C. Mande, a distinguished scientist, former DG CSIR, and also my dear friend, 1 year junior to me, so you'll also be 65 soon. And Dr. Ramakrishnan, director of this very important laboratory, Dr. TPD Rajan, and Sri Srinivas Rao, CEO of this institute, of course Rakesh, and then Seema, Palampur director. Many of you I know very well by name. I can see most of you. But last 5-6 years I have not come, partly after joining ISER Tirupati, because ISER is somewhere where you have a lot of teaching. Especially first year students, you need to love teaching, especially chemistry and electrochemistry. However, I have been watching the progress of this laboratory. In fact, I met your director last year about the Tata Transformational Prize. He also updated me about the very important developments. And being a CSIR Foundation Day and being a CSIR man, I'm very proud to be with all of you. I joined CSIR in 1990, 25 years of NCL lab, various parts of electrochemistry. Of course, we have also got the legacy of CSIR, especially started by Shanti Sarup Patnagar and Arcot Ramaswamy Mudriyar. These are the two towering personalities which eventually contributed by many other leaders. However, CSIR has unique features. We are always proud to be of CSIR. CSIR has withstood many storms. There were times where we were worried about the existence of CSIR. I'm sure people like Dr. Mashilkar pondered a lot about it. There was a Kelkar committee report about the social impact of CSIR, whether it is SARS or whenever there is a democracy, we go for election, ink and many things. I am specially related because Dr. Shekhar Mande is going to talk about some of those most important societal contributions of CSIR and also some of the problems, because Foundation Day is a day where we need to look at where we are now, where we are moving, how much we have been able to accomplish, introspect. If there are weaknesses in the system, how do we fill that gap? I can see so much of improvement in CSIR. Last 6 years I had not come here, but technology rolling out from CSIR-NIIST, and especially in important areas. Please remember, we are at a time where India's growth trajectory is very strong. One of the fastest growing major economies India is going to be. There are always problems. Maybe some Trump effect is there. Maybe there are minor issues about some of our neighbors. But don't worry, youngsters should be always optimistic. The reason is we have very important targets to complete. India has declared very clearly that we want to have a net zero by 2070. This is only one important aspect. Net zero, there are several roads. We would like to have a human-centric road to net zero, not an AI-centric or computer-centric. And that makes a lot of difference. How do you make a human-centric pathway? Electric vehicles are important, energy storage is important. Some of the most diverse and fascinating challenges we face is about energy. Energy generation, energy storage, and transformation of energy to various forms. It is important for the progress of the country. We have one of the most populous country in the world. That is why science and technology is essential for our vision, progressive vision, orchestrated by our Honorable Prime Minister. In 2047, we would like to have an advanced country. Energy is concerned, I mentioned about our targets. By 2030, we would like to have something like 500 gigawatt of non-fossil fuel based energy. 500 gigawatt may look a very far-fetched target right now. But for a country like India, no. We have been able to accomplish many aspects. Look at the state of solar energy. We are number 3. China, US and India globally. What about wind? Similarly, India is number 4. China, US, Germany and India. So, for a country like India with diverse energy requirements, we cannot depend only one parameter. We have got a mix of all these renewable energies. And the renewable energy is increasing. According to International Energy Agency, next 5 years, we will be able to see so much of change. A simple action such as GST reduction from 12% to 5% has created so much of boom in solar energy. India is going to have, I am sure Dr. Shekhar Mande may be knowing, one of the world's largest solar farm is getting ready in Maharashtra. 16,000 megawatt, the first in the whole world. Gujarat and Rajasthan already have got several 200, 300 megawatt plants. So the solar energy is one side, wind is another. That's the reason why 500 is big number when we look at it, but we have almost crossed 20 gigawatt. And this is only one aspect. So many other developments are continuing in our country. The other week we tested rocket launcher from a train. Nobody has done it in the world. Having a train with the missiles and try to launch it. Similarly, our Minister of Petroleum and Gas reported a huge amount of oil in Andaman during a deep sea mission. CSIR is very proud to have also a deep sea mission with collaboration with Earth Sciences. So deep sea mission recently found huge oil possibility near Andaman. I hope you remember a US president was telling that India may have to take oil from Pakistan because US is supporting Pakistan in a big way to have a oil mission. However, it will be the other way. We have found so much of oil near Andaman, and I am sure they may be taking from India. So these are certain examples about our country's development. Next 10 years will be very important. And for this Vikasit Bharat, science and technology will be one of the important. That will be the major key. And CSIR will have its own natural way. So I am delighted that NIIST is rolling out many technologies in these areas of biomass, in terms of environmental remediation, in terms of sustainability. Sustainability development goals 7 and 13 are very critical. CSIR is involved in many areas. So I would like to offer my best wishes to NIIST, all the scientists and engineers and technologists and the entire staff. I know NIIST very well because last maybe around 20 years I have been very closely associated with many projects, many programs of NIIST. Many of you I know also at personal level. I am sure that NIIST will do very well in the transformation of our country in the net zero effort. Of course, 2070 is a long, but 2047, 2030, we have several milestones. Green hydrogen is another important area. I am sure NIIST is deeply involved in many missions. So with this, my best wishes to all of you. My age 65 is already told by your director, but I look maybe 75. Don't worry about it. But electrochemistry is very critical for many of these areas, whether it is energy, drinking water, environmental remediation. So I see many of you are also working in electrochemistry. As a proud CSIR person, I would like once again offer my best wishes to all of you in NIIST. CSIR is also going through a lot of changes. I am sure this will strongly endorse our Prime Minister's vision to become a Vikasit Bharat by 2047. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your very inspiring, encouraging words and warm wishes. CSIR-NIIST has always striving to strengthen industrial alliances and foster societal connect with a vision to align itself with a larger mission of nation building. CSIR-NIIST is transferring the know-how for on-site treatment of organic wastewater and resources recovery, NOVA, to SID1 Infrastructure Private Limited, Tirunelveli. NOVA is a modular on-site wastewater treatment and resource recovery unit. This patented technology is approved by Kerala State Shujitwa Mission for field implementation. May I now request our director to kindly exchange the MOU with SID1 Infrastructure Private Limited. I would also like to invite Dr. P. Nishi, Head Business Development Division, Dr. B. Krishna Kumar, the Principal Investigator and Head Environmental Technology Division, Dr. Akshay Shinde, Senior Scientist, Environmental Technology Division. And I also request Mr. Jude Anthony, Mr. Vijay Kumar and Mr. Arjun from SID1 Infrastructure Private Limited to come to the dais for the exchange of MOU.
CSIR-NIIST is entering into an MOU with Elysia Life Science Private Limited, Ernakulam, for the project development of a methyl nicotinate-based electrochemical sensor for TB patients' breath analysis. I request Dr. Rakhi RB, the principal investigator, and Dr. Narayan Nunni, head of the Center for Sustainable Energy Technologies, and Dr. Ruwais from Elysia Life Science Private Limited to come to the dais for the exchange of the MOU.
We are signing a memorandum of understanding with the Swadeshi Science Movement Kerala, the Kerala State Unit of Vignan Bharati. This collaboration is for implementation of a DST supported project on agro-based science, technology and innovation hubs. This project will operate in 9 blocks across 5 districts of Kerala, covering as many as 67 panchayats in Wayanad, Malappuram, Palakkad, Idukki and Pathanamthitta. Through this initiative, we envision strengthening rural innovation, empowering local communities and contributing meaningfully to Kerala's agricultural and technological growth. May I now request our director to kindly exchange the MOU with Swadeshi Science Movement Kerala. I would also like to invite Shri K. Chandrakant, our Societal Connect Coordinator, and esteemed office bearers of Swadeshi Science Movement of Kerala to please join us on the dais for the MOU exchange.
Thank you, sir, and thanks to all dignitaries who joined the dais for the MOU exchange. We are proud to have with us Dr. Shekhar C. Mande, former Secretary DSIR and Director General CSIR, as our esteemed chief guest. Professor Mande is a distinguished alumnus of IISc, a structural and computational biologist who was the first Indian to determine the crystal structure of a protein from peanut lectin. As Secretary DSIR and Director General CSIR, he led major national initiatives, including India's COVID-19 scientific response, asphoetida cultivation, lavender farming, sustainable aviation fuel, Phenome India, and gender-inclusive leadership in science. To highlight his contributions to Indian science and his glorious journey and accomplishments, we have compiled a short video presentation. May we have the video, please?
In the vast landscape of Indian science, few names stand as tall as Dr. Shekhar Chintamani Mande, a scientist, leader, and visionary who redefined the direction of science and transformed vision into national action. Born with an innate curiosity and a passion for knowledge, Dr. Mande holds a master's in physics from Nagpur University in 1984 and began his scientific journey in the field of structural biology and molecular biophysics at the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, where he completed his PhD in 1991 working with the legendary Professor M. Vijayan. Dr. Mande started his independent career as Scientist C at CSIR Institute of Microbial Technology, Chandigarh, before moving to Center for DNA Fingerprinting and Diagnostics, Hyderabad, as a senior staff scientist. Between September 2011 and September 2018, he served as Director of National Center for Cell Science in CCS Pune, where he strengthened interdisciplinary research and mentored generations of scientists. In 2018, Dr. Shekhar C. Mande assumed one of the most influential scientific leadership roles in the country as the Secretary DSIR and Director General CSIR. With over 37 laboratories, thousands of scientists, and decades of legacy, CSIR had a leader ready to rewrite its future. He also held the post of Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences with additional charge for a brief period. Dr. Mande superannuated from council service in 2022 and is currently Distinguished Professor at University of Pune.
And whatever I have learned about India's science and technology, about the contributions of all SNT that has happened in India since 1947, and the important role that CSIR has played in all of this is thanks only to my being associated with CSIR since 2018.
Dr. Monde is also the national president of Vignan Bharati, the largest voluntary science movement in the world, apart from being the chair and member of numerous professional bodies, including the director board of Tata Steel Limited, National Council of Science Museums, International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, Italy, National Committee for the International Union of Crystallography, etc. When COVID-19 shook the world, Dr. Monde did not wait for solutions, he mobilized them. Under his guidance, CSIR labs developed RT-PCR kits, ventilators, genomic surveillance, drug repurposing, and oxygen technologies, all at lightning speed. From high-tech labs to grassroots innovation, he made science inclusive, collaborative, and future-ready. For his exemplary scientific contributions, he was bestowed with several accolades: the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize in Biological Sciences, 2005, Bharat Asmita Award of MIT World Peace University, Pune, 2019, HK Firudiyya Vignan Bhushan Award, 2020, and NDTV India Health Mission Award. He is also a fellow of all major science academies in India. Dr. Monde is a scientist with global recognition, a policymaker with national vision, and a mentor who inspired silent revolutions in thought and technology. Today, his legacy continues to inspire not just scientists, but all who believe in the transformative power of ideas. With deep sense of respect and appreciation, CSIR-NIIST fraternity welcomes Professor Shekhar C. Monde to the CSIR Foundation Day celebrations 2025.
It's indeed our honor and privilege to have with us Professor Shekhar C. Monde, a distinguished scientist, a visionary leader who contributed immensely to the growth of science and innovation in our country. To celebrate this occasion, we now invite our esteemed director to kindly honor Professor Monde with a token of our gratitude and appreciation.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Professor Shekhar C. Monde to kindly deliver the CSIR Foundation Day address.
Thank you very much. That video was quite unexpected. I did not see much of it. There's a confession. First of all, Anant Ramkrishnan, Vijay Mohan Pillai, Rakesh, Sudesh, all the dignitaries, students, staff, scientists of CSIR-NIIST, my heartiest greetings to all of you on the 84th Foundation Day of CSIR. My greetings also to you for the Golden Jubilee of CSIR-NIIST. While I was in Delhi, I used to often talk about different labs and their achievements. And on multiple occasions, I did mention about CSIR-NIIST. I hope all of you remember, you are not forgotten that I also used to talk about CSIR-NIIST achievement, and we are very proud of the work that was being done here. I am still very proud of that work that is being done here. And Anant Ramkrishna made very powerful presentation of recent technologies that have happened. So it makes one very, very proud of coming to a place which has contributed so much to the growth of the nation and to an organization which has been integral for bringing India into 84 years after independence. So 82 years after independence. So what I felt was actually trying to get a message across that any society in the world, and I have said this yesterday on two different institutes, any society in the world cannot expect to make progress without taking the course of science, technology and innovation. That's the fundamental thing, right? There are many countries which became independent plus minus 5-10 years in 1947. India stands out as the single example which has made so much progress on all different possible fronts. We are literally one single outstanding example, shining example, where we have made so much progress. And many people actually tend to forget. And I was trying to remind people yesterday that how short is our memory, right? And the younger people probably may not connect with this, but the older people in the front row would connect that I grew up in an era in which we did not have email. You know, there is no concept of email. Do you remember? Yeah, I mean, our papers we used to communicate to journals as 3 copies of hard copies, you know, and then wait for next 6 months to wait from the referees and editors whether our paper is being reviewed or rejected or accepted or whatever. That was an era when there was no email, there was no internet, of course, there were no mobiles. My house, to get a telephone connection, we made application to BSNL. I don't think what was BSNL called then, I don't remember. For about 10 years we had to wait to get a landline connection at our house. So that was the wait. A scooter, Bajaj Chetak, was a wait of about 8 years. You apply for a scooter and you get a scooter after 8 years. All of us used to use bicycles, you know, or we used to walk. That was the common mode of transport. And we forget that we have seen that time very often. 1947, when India became independent, India's life expectancy, that is, a normal child born in any family would expect to live up to how many years you think? It's about 27. So average life expectancy of an Indian was 27 years. A child would not be expected to live longer than 27 years. That is 1947. Today how much it is? It's more than 70. Can you imagine that we have done in the last 82 years? India's GDP was minuscule in 1947. Today we have grown to a very large and strong economy. We are in fact the 4th largest economy in the world today. And a lot of this would not have been possible without science and technology and innovation. And who do you think has driven that science, technology and innovation in the last 82 years? The prime organization that has driven that is CSIR. Right? And that's exactly what I want to bring it to you, that how CSIR has contributed to bring us here from 1947 to 2025 and how gloriously we have contributed. And as I said, public memory is short. We have to keep reminding people that we have done this, we have done that, we have done that. And very often when I was in Delhi, people would ask me, what has CSIR done? Kya kar liya aap logon ne? And then I used to actually give them examples. For example, I'm going to come to that example very soon anyway. But societal progress always depends upon science and technology and innovation. And this was one of the strongest points that J.D. Bernal, a very important scientist in the 1920s and 30s, he actually made this point. He was a staunch Marxist, and because of his Marxist inclination, he also got into trouble because he supported Lysenko, the theory of genetics that was proposed by the Russian geneticist Lysenko, which of course has been discarded now. And he also wrote glowing tributes to Stalin. So Bernal was a very fallible guy, but at the same time in science he made very important observations, and one of the observations that he made was regarding the social function of science in this particular case, which has been accepted across political spectrum. So despite being a Marxist, his views have been accepted across political spectrum that science plays an important role in the development of society. And I thought I will start from this particular way. But in India, when we began our journey in 1947, we had been exploited to the hilt that we would actually not survive as a nation. Most of the Western nations did not think that India would survive long enough as a nation, 1947, right? Because people thought that we are going to splinter into multiple states very soon and we'll start fighting amongst each other like some of the other countries which are doing at that particular point of time. So we had to have actually a engine to go forward. And it is at that time we decided, in the first place, we will develop different scientific institutes in the country. And that began with CSIR in 1942. And I'll just come to CSIR story a slide later. But because CSIR was one of the first organizations that was supported by public, CSIR also piloted formation of things like Department of Atomic Energy and so on and so forth. Right? They all began within CSIR, all of this. India had only 19 universities in 1947. 19 university. Today you have lost count. In Trivandrum itself you have probably 19 universities. So you have lost count of how many universities are there in India now. 1950 was the first of the IITs that was founded. IIT Kharagpur started in 1950. IIT Kanpur started in 1960. That completed formation of the first 5 IITs in the country. Right? They did not exist at the time of independence. So this is how we actually started at that particular point of time. But CSIR itself has a very fascinating story, that in 1933, the editor of Nature, Sir Richard Gregory, he visited India and he made a case that there has to be a very strongly publicly supported organization in India which would work on science and technology. But British being British, they conveniently forgot this, and no efforts were made to have any publicly funded organization in India until this gentleman here, he showed up, and he actually I can have pointer here, so there is a pointer that won't work on the screen. No? I don't think it will work on the screen. Okay. So this gentleman, Sir Arcot Ramaswamy Mudliya, he was the member of British Commerce Council, the Viceroy's Commerce Council. He lobbied with the government and asked them to set up a board of scientific and industrial research that converted itself into Industrial Research Utilization Committee. It was headquartered in Calcutta, and then very soon it was decided that this was not enough, so it would move to Delhi. And when it moved to Delhi in 1942, on this day, on today's date, in 1942, we began the council that is today known as the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. And of course, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar was roped in as the first Director General of this particular organization. But because it was an organization that is the first of this kind, lot of the emphasis was placed on raising funds apart from public funds alone, and industrial houses such as the Tatas came forward to fund part of CSIR. So about 1/5 of the fund to start CSIR came from the Tatas. And not only that, Tatas helped CSIR to raise fund from public, what today we call as crowdsourcing. Right? Crowdsourcing, all of you have heard. You appeal to public to give fund for a particular cause, and public gives fund. JRD Tata appealed to the public that please give your money to start science and technology organization CSIR. And that's what actually happened. And this is one of the letters that I have taken from Tata archives. It shows that JRD wrote to Bhatnagar saying that I have your letter so and so forth here, somewhere here it says. And then it says that a note, I'm going to read this quote from you, it's a very interesting quote. It says that note from the figures given in your letter that the total contribution received from the general public amounts only to rupees 44,000, the bulk of which is realized from the Mercantile Association of Calcutta. So 44,000 rupees was raised in Mercantile Association of Calcutta. But in the next statement, he expresses his disappointment. He says, I am disappointed that the response from the general public has been so poor, particularly from Jamshedpur public. And Jamshedpur is of course the city of Tatas, right? Who has given only rupees 501. That's how he said. But nonetheless, the efforts were on to raise money from all possible sources. And JRD was so closely associated with CSIR almost till the end that he used to chair the management council of NIL. What you see here, ignore this person because that is not acceptable today. But JRD is actually chairing the management council of NIL at that particular point of time. So he was very deeply involved on all the affairs of CSIR till recently. So that's how actually the industrial houses have been associated with CSIR. And therefore the mandate of starting other organizations naturally fell on CSIR. And when the discussion started on having Atomic Energy Commission in India, naturally the discussions took place in the National Physical Laboratory in Delhi, NPL, and invited were people like Homi Bhabha, PM Blackett, whom you see at the center. They are having lunch with Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar there in NPL canteen, and it was decided that India indeed will have Atomic Energy Commission, and it would be headed by Homi Bhabha, and gazette notification for that was issued on 10th August 1948, and it has been signed by none other than Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, as you can see on the screen there. So on the 10th August 1948, Atomic Energy Commission came into being, and that was directly with the support of CSIR. CSIR actually supported first few scientists to be sent abroad, trained them, they were brought back, and all of them worked in the Atomic Energy Commission. So Department of Atomic Energy began with the efforts of CSIR in the first place. Now, time and again, Vijay Mohan Pillai mentioned also in his talk that issues have been raised about the relevance of CSIR to the general public and society, right? And these issues have been rather frivolous. Whenever these issues have been raised, I think we have to give very firm answers that how relevant is CSIR even today, and it has remained relevant all through the last 82 years. So people will ask what CSIR actually is, and we just ponder very briefly about whether we are doing basic science, or whether we are doing translational science, or whether we are doing something that impacts society immediately. All of that is debate is unnecessary, because when we talk of science, technology and innovation, all of it is part of that single system. Whether you do fundamental science like what Bohr did, and this is a very famous Bohr, Pasteur, Edison quadrangle that you would have seen, that all of it is an integral part of that ecosystem, whether it what Bohr's discovery of the atomic model, or what Pasteur inspired many applications of science, or Edison, who was mostly a translational scientist like that. So CSIR encompasses all of it, and we have to remember that we do not place emphasis only on one aspect of any of this in the future. And I want to highlight some achievements of CSIR, how we actually developed and implemented direct solutions for society. Some of these have been mentioned just now. Anand Ramakrishnan mentioned in his opening comments, and that's the first example I want to take. I'm going to take some random examples before we come to COVID, how we actually fought COVID. So the first example is about milk powder. All of you have heard of it. 1960s, there is a committee which was formed, what is called as the Milk Powder Committee. The report that you see there is a gazetted report of Ministry of Commerce. It says report of the Committee on Milk Powder Industry. Why was this done? Because India had a balance of payment crisis in the 1960s. All of you remember, 1965 was a very serious balance of payment crisis. India was facing a famine-like situation. It was almost the same situation as 1943 Bengal famine, the same situation India was facing at that particular point of time, and India could not have bought more milk powder, and milk powder was essential for preventing deaths of infants, children below the age of 5. It was essential at that time. The committee sat down together, they presented this particular report. This report very boldly states that Indian milk cannot be converted into powder. Why? Because Indian milk is mostly derived from buffaloes, while the milk in other countries like Western Europe, New Zealand, Australia is derived from cows, which is low in fat. And therefore, to convert Indian milk into powder is an impossible task and needs some R&D to be undertaken, right? And R&D, it states that institutes such as Central Food Technology Research Institute should undertake this R&D. And at that particular point of time, Verghese Kurian, all of you have heard the name Verghese Kurian, he traveled to Mysore and he met Subramaniam, the director of CFTRI, and together they sat and they found a process by which they could remove fat from milk. This is not rocket science, but still extremely useful. The fat that was removed from the milk, the remaining milk could be converted into milk powder. The fat that came out of that is today what you eat on your table as Amul butter, right? So both milk powder and butter of Amul are direct consequence of this particular committee there, and that instantly brought down the number of deaths of infants in the 1970s. So it was a fantastic achievement then at that particular point of time. I want to highlight two examples of recent achievements. I will not spend too much time. One of them you would have probably seen this. This is the paraffin wax that is made in Numaligarh oil refinery of BPCL in Assam, and this happened just before I had come to CSIR. And at that time CSIR IIP had developed this particular process of making paraffin wax from the refinery. That was actually a waste product of the refinery, and Honorable Prime Minister then dedicated to nation this particular plant, but also this particular technology of making wax and wax related products. And when I came to Delhi, we generated a report which is an economic impact analysis of this particular technology, what we had transferred then, and we turned out it was immeasurable at that particular point of time. It had reduced the foreign exchange by roughly about 500 crores per year. The wax import had reduced by about 50%, and the total technology value per year is about 750 crores. Simple technology of getting paraffin wax from Ain refinery. About 500 women in that area actually now start making wax related products. They did not have any means of survival then, but now they actually make wax related products, candles and all, and they have means of survival now. When I came to Delhi, we were posed with this particular problem. The second example is Nepal had undergone a very disastrous earthquake 2015, and Nepalese government at that time realized that Indian buildings, the Nepal and India being so close, actually had survived some parts of the earthquake, but Nepal had very extensive damage. About 10,000 people had died in earthquake in Nepal, and the Nepal government appealed to India, can we help them recover? And at that time CSIR CBRI Roorkee was approached and asked whether you can go and make earthquake resilient buildings there. CBRI went there and made 250 such buildings, hospitals, schools, university libraries, and so on and so forth. And you can see here some pictures of that. Is some of the buildings were inaugurated then. This is the on the left hand bottom is the Tribhuvan University's library that has been made by CBRI, and so on and so forth. So every sector that you can think of, Anant Ramakrishnan mentioned, Vijay Mohan Pillai mentioned about the indelible ink, all of you know about that. Milk powder I showed you, the tractor was mentioned. All of this at any point of time during the last 82 years when there was a need to do something for society, and it was felt that there were shortcomings of our own technologies, CSIR has risen to the occasion and come to the rescue of the nation by and large. And no occasion could have been even more prominent than COVID-19. All of you remember 2020, the entire globe was stuck up with a pandemic, and it is at that time, if anyone looked up to anyone in the country, any common citizen looked up to anyone in the country to help them mitigate COVID-19 thing, whom would they look at it? They would look at not at politicians, they would look at not at bureaucrats, they would not look at industry, they would look at scientists and technologists. If science alone can be the savior out of this situation, and therefore the entire mantle of steering India's COVID-19 response fell squarely on CSIR's shoulders. Squarely on CSIR's shoulders to mitigate COVID-19 situation, right? And CSIR rose up, all laboratories of CSIR gloriously rose up to the occasion. I want to give you some examples. So 2019 in fact, 30th December 2019 was the first reported case from China. On 3rd January 2020, it was found out that it is caused by SARS-CoV-2, the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus of the second kind. That was detected in China. On about 10th of 14th January, first reported case in Europe and US. On the 30th January in Kerala, the first reported case in India, right? So that's how the COVID-19 started. We had a directors meeting in Goa. Rakesh Mishra was present in that meeting. I don't know Vijay Mohan was there by then. No. So we had a directors meeting in 2020 in Goa, and we were discussing the situation. It had not yet developed to the scale that people were afraid of. It is going to be a pandemic, it is going to be an epidemic, or is going to remain localized. It was not known at that particular point of time. But we all deliberated that should the situation develop into a pandemic, we must be prepared for that situation. And lo and behold, on 11th March, full 15 days later, World Health Organization declared COVID-19 as a world pandemic. That is this time. 24th March was the first lockdown in India. 29th March, CSIR began its daily evening meetings. Rakesh Mishra was part of that. Every day evening, we had online meetings for the next few months. Every day we would discuss how the situation is developing and what kind of scientific solutions need to be brought to the public for that every evening. And it could go on frequently in the initial time for 4 or 5 hours. Slowly over a period of time, they reduced to about 1 or 2 hours and so on and so forth. Next few months, every evening there was a strategic meeting of dealing with COVID. We knew that CSIR possesses expertise. CSIR had established sequencing and bioinformatic pipelines. CSIR had expertise in diagnostics. CSIR has been known to be fountainhead of generic pharma. We have expertise in designing medical devices, and we have the capability to understand infectious diseases. But the challenges worldwide where there's very limited diagnostic capability and capacity. In India, in fact, medical colleges in India did not have RT-PCR machines, and they did not know how to conduct RT-PCR. That is number one. There was no point of care diagnostics available then. There were no vaccines, there were no therapeutics. It was known that the virus is very infectious, and the biology of the virus in March 2020 was complete unknown. So we were groping in the dark to deal with COVID-19 situation. The first thing that we did is institutes like CCMB, and Rakesh was leading that, immediately undertook in March itself during the lockdown to start training people in Telangana. And there's only one example, there are multiple institutes did that, in how to conduct RT-PCR. So about 20-25 people from different medical hospitals from different districts would come there. They would get trained in RT-PCR, they would go back, and in fact in many hospitals we actually donated RT-PCR machines. In Calcutta, the Army Hospital did not have RT-PCR machine. We donated 2 of them from our ISCB Calcutta thing, and we also of course trained all of them. And we designed our strategy based on these 5 fronts. All of you are aware of this, I will not spend time on this. And as I said, many places did not have RT-PCR machines. For example, entire region of Ladakh had no knowledge of how PCR is done. So we flew down from an Air Force plane, that is the Air Force plane that you see there, and the thing that is being loaded in the plane are the RT-PCR and RNA isolation machines. They came from IIM Jammu, and they landed 2 machines, one in Leh and one in Kargil, and we started actually doing even diagnostics in Ladakh. So we trained large number of people in government hospitals, research institutes, universities and so on and so forth, how they can actually start doing RT-PCR. And Anant Ramakrishnan only yesterday was telling me that in CFTRI, nobody had ever done this kind of molecular biology ahead, but CFTRI also started doing RT-PCR, and they did lakhs of people samples in CFTRI also at that particular point of time. When we started falling short of ventilators, you may remember that ventilators we were falling short of in May 2021, but we had expertise in 2 multiple aspects. We had one of the finest pulmonologists who was heading CSIR IGIB at that time, Anurag Agarwal. He's a trained clinician and a pulmonologist, and we have a strong institute in Bangalore which knows how to deal with airflows, and it is NAL. They know how airflows can be modulated, and Anurag Agarwal and NAL together in a record 36 days they made this particular BiPAP ventilator, and very soon we transferred the technology to multiple companies including Paras Defense and so on and so forth, and thousands of this were distributed in no time. In about a month we made the machine, a prototype, industry came, it made, and thousands of these were actually distributed all over country. That's amazing how it was done, the scale up was done. When we are falling short of oxygen, once again it's not a rocket science. A pressure swing adsorption technique is well known. All you need is a zeolite in which normal air passes, and then you separate out nitrogen and oxygen, and you can generate medical grade oxygen. All that you need to do is scale up and make sure that you can actually install that in multiple hospitals. The first of this we made and installed in Own Chest Hospital in Pune, and we coupled it to liquid oxygen plant there. And in no time, DRDO and CSIR together had made thousands of oxygen plants in no time, literally, starting from May 2021, and we supplied all over India. We made sure that every district in India now has the capability of generating oxygen. There is one missing link in this, and that is about the supply chain logistics, and that's very difficult to deal with. The zeolite that is used in making pressure swing adsorption comes necessarily only from US or France, that is imported. And at that time, thankfully, Ashish Lele had just taken over as the director of NCL, and he said, give me 4 months, I will start making zeolites in NCL and we'll transfer it to industry immediately. And why 4 months? He made a zeolite in 3 months. We transferred it to industry, and all the medical oxygen plants now that are made in India are completely Swadeshi. We don't import a single component of oxygen plant from that time onwards. We started running short of hospitals. Remember May 2021? The pressure on the hospitals was so much in Delhi. If you wanted to get admitted in hospital, there was no place. No hospital had a place. And we were required to make makeshift hospitals. So in Delhi, in Safdarjung Hospital, in the car parking lot, we went and made a hospital which is 50 bedded. Safdarjung Hospital in Delhi. Near Delhi airport, DRDO made a 1000 bedded hospital. I got a call from Punjab and Haryana and Himachal Pradesh that we are falling short of hospital. Can you make hospital? And we used to make hospitals at something like 8 or 10 days notice. These are all makeshift hospitals. The material would be carried on shoulders. We would go and erect a completely ready-made hospital there with full beds, ICU and everything. And this is the hospital that you see in Kangra, for example. And Palampur is a very attractive place, right? So many CSIR employees keep going to Palampur. If you land in Dharmshala, on the way, if you take a small detour, you will actually see this particular hospital there, and it proudly says made by CSIR on the top of it. So large number of hospitals in the country we went and made in remote places, in big cities, in villages, everywhere. They were all supported, of course, by philanthropy from the private agencies and so on and so forth. And why so? The first organization that recognized that COVID spreads through aerosols was CSIR. All over the world, including WHO, was telling us COVID spreads through contaminated surfaces. And we were told that you have to keep washing your hands with detergents all the time. Correct? We recognize that COVID spreads through air, through aerosols. We were the first organization, and Rakesh has a beautiful paper on that, on how COVID actually spreads through air. And we quickly made solutions to mitigate that. What we did is all the air vents which are here, in the air vents inside in the concealed area, we calculated how much airflow is there. We did computational fluid dynamics analysis on how much airflow, how much virus load would be there in that airflow, and if you had to neutralize the virus, what you would do. We tried chemical solutions, but the best solution that showed up was UVC, the ultraviolet light C that came up, and calibrated to the airflow, we actually installed UVs into all the airflow vents and so on and so forth. And today, if you board a Vande Bharat Express, how many of you have boarded a Vande Bharat Express? Quite a few. Every coach of Vande Bharat Express has CSIR technology in it, and that is this one. The air that is circulated inside a coach of Vande Bharat Express is necessarily treated with ultraviolet light, and this technology was developed by CSIO in collaboration with IMTech and CBRI Roorkee, and every coach of Vande Bharat today that you board has air that is sanitized by UV before it comes into the coach, like this. I can go on and on, right? I mean, I've already taken half an hour. I don't want to take too much time. So I can go on and on. But the key to success that CSIR did all of this in such a short period of time, number one, we had years of experience. We had the required manpower, which could be told to orient themselves in one direction in having any kind of technological solution that was possible for dealing with COVID. This is number one. Number two, we had good connect with political leadership and bureaucracy. I had an excellent connect with the political leadership, and we could actually deal with them directly. I could deal with the Prime Minister's office directly and tell that this has to be done, that has to be done. And we used to get permissions on the go. Whatever we wanted to do, transport of oxygen from here, transport of material from there, irrespective of lockdowns, we could get permissions just on the go. Number 3, all possible industries actually rose to the occasion and they wrote to me. So I wrote personal letters to every industrial leader that you can think of, whether be it Mukesh Ambani, or whether be it N. Chandrasekharan, or whether be it Godrej's. I wrote letters to everyone, and within hours I got replies from all of them that they stood with CSIR in translating these technologies and scaling up this. And because of that, you saw that at multiple airports, for example at Delhi airport or Bangalore airport, you would have seen there were vans which were sitting there. They would do genome sequencing. They would take your sample and do sequencing. There were kiosks that were set up on the airport to do RT-PCR, or in fact they also did Feluda, the kit that we had developed, a CRISPR-Cas based kit. At Bangalore airport, there is a proper kiosk set up for people to come and do RT-PCR that was set up by CSIR and Tata MD, and so on and so forth. And a large number of industries, actually I have shown you only the representative examples here, they stood with CSIR and trying to scale up. And of course we had the public confidence. And the public confidence, of course, I remain myself engaged with the public almost on daily basis. You would have seen me in multiple newspapers and televisions at that particular point of time to improve public confidence in the scientific solutions of this. And as the sum result of all of it, India, compared to many developed countries, whether you take countries from Western Europe, or whether you take Canada or Australia or New Zealand, or even the US, if you look at the impact of COVID on the general public, India had a better statistics than most other countries. And that makes us extremely proud. The number of people who died per million in India today stands among the lowest across all these economies, whether it be United States, whether it be Western Europe, whether it be Australia or Russia or New Zealand or Canada, all what quote unquote you call developed countries, India's death toll per million people is the lowest amongst all of them. And that would not have been possible without CSIR, right? CSIR solutions made sure that the overall impact on public due to COVID is minimal amongst all the societies in the world. And I think that makes us extraordinarily proud. In our generation, we have been able to do something that makes everyone proud. But this is not the end of the road. We have many things which are coming up, and the nation itself is aspiring to be Viksit by 2047. I'm going to take only 5 minutes to tell you some of the future technologies that what we want to do. We have taken steps in many of these technologies that we want to do. One of the first ones, all of you probably would be aware that NAL has taken up this particular technology called high altitude platforms. This was also an outcome of our Goa meeting of the directors when we are discussing what are the technologies that a country should indulge in, so that in future, if this technology becomes available, we are not dependent on some other country. So we want to start from the beginning. So we are competing directly now with the Western countries in developing technology that does not exist today. This technology does not exist anywhere in the world today, and CSIR now is at the forefront of it. These are the UAVs. They fly at about 60,000 feet, much higher than the passenger planes fly, but they are fitted with very strong sensors, and they can be used for multiple different applications such as telecommunication, surveillance, remote sensing, disasters, and so on and so forth. It's a fantastic technology. It should become a reality in the next couple of years, but India will be one of the first countries where the technology has become a reality, right? And once again, NAL is part of that. The second thing that has been bothering many of us has been, if you look at health of Indians, right? Most parameters of what you say, so when you say that you're likely to have a diabetes, when does doctor tell you that you're likely to have a diabetes? Doctor finds out that your fasting blood glucose is more than 125, right? Or HbA1c, that is the glycated hemoglobin, is more than 6.5. That is taken as the indication that you are likely to have diabetes, right? Where did these numbers come from? These numbers have come from data generated entirely in the Western countries compared to the normal average Western population, right? In India, we don't have any such numbers. Whom would you call as a diabetic Indian, right? We don't have such numbers. But we don't have numbers for any other disease. Why diabetes alone? Any of the cancers and this and that and all, we don't have any numbers, Indian data. And we decided at that time, we will launch a project which I hope all of you are participating, and I hope all of you are participating enthusiastically. The project is called Phenome India, and that actually attempts to map the health parameters of CSIR employees for the next number of years. The first results of Phenome India are just coming out, and the results are scary. In a sense, they tell us that most Indians suffer from what we call as fatty liver disease. Our eating habits and our lifestyles and the food that we eat are such that most of us have fatty liver, right? And we have not brought that kind of awareness among people. But the Phenome India project was a direct outcome of that, and CSIR once again is at the forefront of it, right? So these are the kind of things that CSIR has done. And with that in view, just before I left, we thought that all the labs together, CSIR labs together, we should actually generate a roadmap of CSIR. And I am glad that before I left, we were able to finish this. We prepared this vision 2030. 2030 we call because it's a short-term vision. But we also have a vision for CSIR at 100, or we have a vision for Bharat at 2047. So this particular roadmap, if you have not seen it, I would urge all the scientists to please look at this particular vision map, and it tells in every sector that CSIR has expertise in, what are the kind of things that we need to do so that we can really fulfill the dream of people, the common people of India, that we would like to see India as a developed country by 2047. So I urge all of you to look at this particular map, this particular vision document. There's available, multiple institutes have put it on their websites. If NIST has not done it already, maybe you can consider putting this on the NIST website as well. CSIR Vision 2030. It's a very, very important document for all the CSIR members. I don't want to take too much time. I have already taken 40 minutes speaking. All I want to say is that CSIR was formed to bring solutions of science, technology and innovation to Indian society in 1942. And over a period of 82-83 years, CSIR has indeed left an indelible mark on every walk of life. I can go on giving examples, right? I mean, we did not take many examples, but I only showed you a couple of examples and more recent examples. But every possible thing that you see in the society, CSIR has left a mark on that. But now, as we want to fulfill our dream of seeing India as Vikasit Bharat in 2047, I think the responsibility is even more on our shoulders to make sure that we bring science and technology and innovation to the public of India. I want to thank my funders, Dr. Anand Deshpande, who funds my position in Pune University right now, and DST, which funds my JC Bose Fellowship in National Center for Cell Science. And I would like to thank all of you for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your informative, thought-provoking and insightful lecture. I'm confident that everyone in this hall has greatly benefited from your inspiring words, especially the younger generation who will surely carry these forward. On this Foundation Day, CSIR takes pride in recognizing the contributions of our staff who superannuated during the year 2024-25. We also honor the dedicated service of our staff members who have completed 25 years with the Council. In addition, we are delighted to present the Merit Awards to the bright wards of CSIR-NIIST staff. I request Srimati Neetu Induchudan, Section Officer, to kindly conduct the proceedings.
Good morning. On the occasion of 84th Foundation Day of CSIR, we are delighted to honor the staff members who have retired from Council service between September 2024 and August 2025, as well as the staff members who have completed 25 years of Council service between September 2024 and August 2025. The retirees are being presented with CSIR Saman Patra, a shawl and a memento in recognition of their contribution to the goals and objectives of CSIR. I request our Honorable Chief Guest to kindly hand over the memento to the retirees and the staff members. I also request all the dignitaries on the stage to join for the felicitation. Mr. G. Nagasrinivasu, retired Senior Technician 2. He has retired from council service on 31st July 2025 as photographer after completion of more than 35 years of service. Today, he is here on invitation to receive the CSIR memento. On this auspicious occasion, he has also offered to do a photographic coverage beyond the call of duty. Thank you, sir. Next, the staff members who have completed 25 years of council service during September 2024 and August 2025 are being presented with a customized wristwatch with CSIR logo in recognition of their services to the council. I call upon the staff members to receive their memento from the Honorable Chief Guest. Mr. Chandrakant C.K., Senior Principal Scientist. Dr. S. Ramaswamy, Senior Technical Officer 3. Mr. J.D. Jose, Senior Technical Officer 3. Mrs. S. Vijay, Senior Technical Officer 2. Mrs. Saumini Matthew, Senior Technical Officer 2. Mr. Robert Phillip, Senior Technical Officer 2. Thank you. Mr. R. Rajiv, retired Senior Superintending Engineer. Mr. Suresh Kumar TR, retired Senior Technician 2, and Dr. Shobhan Kumar, Senior Technical Officer 3, are also eligible for the memento today, but have conveyed their inability to attend this ceremony due to some emergency. Next, we have the CSIR Merit Award, a lump sum cash award for the wards of CSIR for excelling in senior secondary examination. And the award is presented to Ms. Vishnupriya MS, daughter of Mr. V. Mani, Senior Principal Scientist, and Dr. Srija Kumari, Principal Scientist, CSIR-NIIST. Ms. Vishnupriya has secured 100% marks in chemistry and more than 90% marks in 3 science subjects in the Senior Secondary Examination 2025. Congratulations. With this, we come to the close of the felicitation ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, dignitaries, for doing the honors. Thank you, Neetu, for conducting the proceedings. As we come towards the close of today's program, it is my privilege to invite our Controller of Administration, Sri Srinivas Rao Ella, to propose the formal vote of thanks.
Good morning all. Respected Director, today's Chief Guest Dr. Shekhar C. Mande, former Secretary DSIR and DG CSIR. Guest of Honor Professor Vijayamohanan Pillai sir, former Director CSIR Sekri Karaikudi and former Dean ISET Tirupati, and my fellow colleagues and research staff and others. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion of 84th CSIR Foundation Day celebrations. At the first instance, on behalf of all the CSIR-NIIST staff, thank Dr. Shekhar C. Mande sir and Professor Vijayamohanan Pillai sir for gracing this occasion for their enlightening and inspiring presentations. Your words have left an indelible mark on our minds, and we are grateful for the knowledge and insights you have shared with us. Thank you, sir. I also thank the retirees and the staff members who have completed 25 years of service for accepting our invitation and attending this function. I thank the director for his guidance and also thank the chairman and the members of the organizing committee for your tireless efforts in putting together this incredible event. I would also like to thank all the staff from IT division, electrical, civil, canteen, administration, finance and accounts, stores and purchase, volunteers, supporting manpower without whom this event would not have been possible. Last but not least, I want to thank every one of you for being here with us today. Once again, thank one and all for being a part of this wonderful occasion. I request all to stand for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Yes, sir. Very nice.
இது வந்து நாங்கள் கொண்டு வாங்க நாங்கள் பேக்கில் பேக் பண்ணி வச்சுருவோம்.